Hi everyone, and welcome to MotorWord's webinar on manual projects. My name is Sarhan, and I'm the community manager here at MotorWord. We were very happy to hear all the positive feedback from our webinar on getting started, and are glad to be here again today to further show you the best way to use our platform. In our last webinar, I showed you the 4 C's of MotorWord's collaborative translation: concordance, creating terms, commenting, and consistency. If you want to watch a recording of getting started, you can find it on the support page of your Translators dashboard. Be sure to watch it if you already haven't, as it'll give you a clear idea of how to best collaborate at MotorWord and what we expect from our translators. Okay, now let's talk about manual projects. Sometimes on MotorWord, we receive projects that are non-text documents and are instead image-based, like a driver's license or a diploma. Because the content of those images cannot be broken into strings and need to be similar to the image that the client has ordered, these projects require one translator to manually work on the content. This is why we refer to these as manual projects and have a different method of working on them. So, like with collaborative projects, I'll receive an email notifying me that a manual project is available for me to work on. I'll go to my translator dashboard at motorword.com and access projects. And like before, I can preview it to get an idea of what it's like before deciding if I want to work on it. Like before, make sure you do this crucial step before deciding if you'd like to work on the project. So as you can see, this is a sample driver's license from Turkey. You'll also be able to tell that this is a manual project rather than a collaborative one if you see this Accept button rather than one that says Continue. Keep in mind, once the translator accepts a manual project, other translators are blocked from accessing it. Also be sure to read this message that appears before taking on the project. This isn't like the other projects where other translators will be collaborating with you, so we need you to see these projects to their completion. Once I click OK, I'm ready to get started. The manual project workspace is similar to the collaborative workspace, but has slight differences. We want to make sure that this translation looks as close to the original document as we can, so be sure to use the tools in the toolbar, such as font sizes, bolding, and text alignment. You can even use this slider to give yourself more space down here. Alright, so let's take a look at our sample Turkish driver's license. I'm going to make my translation as close to the actual license as I can, and I can do this by using tables. So I'll go to Table, click Insert Table, and then I create another table within the first table. I go to Table again, and then finally, I can create one more table within the table on the right for the 12 lines of text that are seen in the original document. Alright, so now I can start putting in my translation. Okay, so we've filled out that so far. We want to make sure that we've spelled everything correctly. Okay, now to make it look more like our original document, I can bold certain areas by highlighting, clicking more, and then bolding. So this gives us a way to make it look like more like the original document. Okay, we're not quite done yet, because as you can see in here, there is a photo. So, in square brackets, we'll write photo, and I'll want it to be in the center of the document. So to do that, I can highlight, center align. Okay, and we're still quite not done, because there's other sections of the document that we need to put the translations in for. So like before, we need to write this. And again, I'd like to have this centered. Let's bold it. Okay. So remember, as professional translators, there are 3 things you need to make sure of before submitting your translation for review. First, make sure that the translation is accurate and consistent with the source text. There can be no omissions. Also, make sure that you check your translation more than once, like I did, for spelling and grammatical errors, and grammatical accuracy. And finally, make sure that your formatting of the translation allows a foreign reader to find information in the right place while comparing your rendering and the source document. Now you may also come across some issues at times. For example, if you can't read the text of the manual project, you can write source illegible in square brackets. And that's it. Once you've checked everything, as I mentioned earlier, you'll hit Submit Translation. And you'll be given this handy checklist to make sure you've covered all these requirements for your translation before finally hitting Submit. If you have any other questions or comments, you can leave them in the survey at the end of this webinar. Like with our first webinar, we will compile the questions and email the answers to you. Thanks again for tuning into our webcast. A reminder again to like us on Facebook and to follow us on Twitter for the latest updates on MotorWord. Thank you.